John Duggan, you buzzing for the National League?
No.
Moving on.
Don't feel it has meaning. Still don't feel it has meaning.
Will it have meaning if there are 50,000 people in Croke Park tomorrow night?
Mayo won the league, didn't they, a few years ago? When did Mayo win the league?
It was an amazing day, unbelievable.
Doesn't mean
occasion.
anything. The All Ireland is the only thing that matters is the All Ireland.
Hold on a minute. Say that to Andy Moran.
It matters for Division 3 and 4 teams. It doesn't matter for the top teams. It didn't matter that Waterford won a National Hurling League in 2007. It mattered jot.
It does matter. It doesn't matter. It does. I mean, it's an absolute... Why would Andy Moran do a lap of honour after they won the National League in 2019 if it didn't matter?
It was massive for them.
All Ireland is the only currency I believe in.
But to the players... It absolutely does. The National League absolutely does matter, and of course it could matter more by being a part of the National League. We ended up in coppers after Kerry won the 2017 National League. I mean, that was a massive moment.
But that sums up where Kerry.
There was 82,000 people in Croke Park.
That sums up where Kerry. That sums up Kerry.
Why were the Dublin fans there then?
We don't go to National Leagues
no, that's what
celebrations.
I mean. There was literally...
We win All Irelands. We win 6 All Irelands in a row.
You might have to start going to them now, John, though.
No, you're missing my point here. There was...
I'm completely sated, Ashley, and I don't need to worry about National League celebrations or not.
The stadium was full. I can tell you that there were Dublin people there in the stadium. Why did they show up if it didn't matter? They filled out Croke Park for a National League final.
Maybe they enjoy football.
But it doesn't matter. I mean, they enjoy football, but it doesn't matter the competition.
We can enjoy watching a Premier League game, but does it ultimately matter at the end?
It matters to the people who show up and pay their money to go.
But there's levels of mattering.
Okay, so it does matter, you're saying, but it doesn't matter.
It's nice. It's like I've been to the curtain raiser for the Allianz League before, like the match tomorrow night, Dublin Armagh. I've been to that before and I've enjoyed it, and I've gone along, and it's been a good experience and it's been worth my while. But has it mattered in where I view it as a fan of a county? The league, to me, doesn't have the meaning that the championship has, and will never will have. That. But like the championship is like sport is about winning, and it's about getting to the pinnacle, getting to the summit, as Tyrone brilliantly did last year. That's what it's about. It's about winning, and the National League is a forerunner competition for the one that really matters, and that's why it's more important this year, obviously, with the truncated calendar. The league should be the championship. The league is the best structure. I've said it countless times on the show and on News Talk. It should be 4 divisions in the summer. The provinces are finished. I just feel that I'm probably frustrated because you got the right format here and the right schedule, and then the competition, though, that should be the main show.
Well, can I put this to you? Luke List wins this weekend at the Farmers Insurance. Are you saying to him, hey Luke, that's not the Masters, that's not a major, that's not the big show, therefore it doesn't matter?
It's a PGA Tour event. It's a proper event as part of the circuit.
The National League is a proper event as part of the season. It literally is. There's a trophy handed out for it.
It's a trophy, but did the trophy matter when the Waterford players look back in their career, and when the Mayo players look back in their career? What will they be thinking about? The All Irelands they lost, or the National League that they won?
You can think about multiple different things, John. Like, I mean, it is possible for two things to be true. The National League matters and the Championship matters more. I agree that. I mean, it would be great if this was the real deal, because it is the best competition. But it definitely matters. Like, I mean,
okay. Who won the National League 20 years ago in football?
I don't know.
There you go. Who won? Anybody can tell? Can anybody tell me without googling it who won the National League 20 years ago in football?
Because it matters more now, and also, you're equating it to the All Ireland Championship.
No, because if things matter, you generally should know. Like who won it? Straight off the top of your head, should know who won it 20 years ago, who won it 10 years ago, who won it 30 years ago.
Well, I'll tell you this, John. I'll be able to tell you who won it 20 years ago when we're back talking about 2016, 2017, 2018, when Dublin had this stranglehold on the All Ireland. I'll definitely be able to tell you who won it then. 82,000 people in Croke Park for a league final. That didn't happen 20 years ago. So that is a fact, that this thing has grown into something where GAA fans are now like, well, this is just better. We're playing the teams of a similar standard all the time. The National League 20 years ago, comparing that to today, is comparing apples and oranges. Surely you can see that. I mean, Kerry played Kilkenny, I think, in a National League 20 years ago, for God's sake.
That was Kerry beat Dublin. Was it by a point, was it, or something, in 2017?
Yeah, remember the Dean Rockfree that came off the post at the end. An amazing game.
But what matters to Kerry people? That
beating Dublin.
That National League are winning one All Ireland that stretch that Dublin won.
But again, you're comparing the league to the All Ireland, which nobody's doing that.
The All Ireland is the show. The All Ireland is the show. The league is a nice competition, but it's just nice. It's fine.
I think it's a bit.
But it's so important, John, in terms of to get to that All Ireland. Like if Tyrone didn't have the form that they were in the league,
conceding 6 goals to Kerry,
they didn't grow and rebuild. They would never have won that All Ireland.
Conceding 6 goals to Kerry.
That's what I mean. It was such a train wreck. They learned so much from that they actually grew and learned and developed in order to go on and push on and win that All Ireland. I believe if they didn't have that they wouldn't have. They wouldn't have went on to win.
It's an interesting point you make about last year. Last year was obviously devolved National League. No supporters there. I think the fans care. I really do. And I've seen like a couple of occasions, even when Roscommon got up a couple of years ago and they went down to Killarney and won, the massive crowd that they brought down there. And in fairness, maybe this supports your point that they almost outnumbered the Kerry people on that occasion, that they didn't care about that. But it was like actually getting the opportunity to play Dublin every year, and Tralee rocking whenever they came down, Croke Park rocking whenever Kerry would go up. Same with the Mayo and Dublin clashes around that time. I like my personal opinion, and like, I mean, it is just my view. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm sure there's a lot of people who completely agree with you. My opinion and my first-hand view of it over the last couple of years is that this thing has grown. This thing does matter. All of a sudden, I'm really looking for. It's appointment viewing for me tomorrow night to watch Armagh against Dublin. Sure, it doesn't matter if it's in relation to the All Irelands, and that's if they play in an All Ireland final, it's a way bigger deal. But
I think it matters for Division 3 and 4 teams more than the Championship matters for them. So I think if Division 4 team goes to Croke Park, and Offaly won a title, didn't they? Division 3, wasn't it? That matters more than the Championship does, because the provincial structure is finished. It's not working in football, and Offaly, we know, are not going to win a Leinster title anytime soon. So that matters. But the structure is the right structure. It should be the structure of the main competition.
That I can agree with for sure.
And then you would see what you're talking about, Owen, there, magnified and amplified tenfold when you'd see a game that really had meaning in the height of summer when, say, Roscommon go to Kerry, and it's a really, really big deal. And that's the way the GA should be run for the football championship, rather than having this fudge structure now where you have seedings and you have the league as it is now, and then you have seedings in the provincial championship, when the teams that are doing well in the league are going to be in the provincial finals anyway. And you're having the provinces in the middle then you have your All Ireland season with groups that, once again, the top teams will come out of the groups and into a quarter-final system. So you've a lot, I would say, a lot of games that really are not going to have that much on them, rather than what they should have done, which is had this league structure, abolished the provinces and had the league structure as the championship. That's why I'm frustrated about the league, because I don't see the league as having the weight that it should have in the summer.
Yeah, it is a great competition, and hopefully everybody can enjoy it for what it is this year, because unfortunately it's not going to matter a whole jot come the summertime.
Well, it's not going to matter a whole jot come the summertime.
It should matter.
But that's so. Does that not go against everything you've been saying the last 5 minutes?
But I mean, when it comes to the structure of the championship, if you win the league, it's not going to give you an extra seeding for the championship, is what I mean.
Yeah. Okay.
But I would care deeply if.
Well, it's interesting because maybe I'm behind the times, and maybe I'm too old and I'm too traditional in my ways. It's not an appointment view for me tomorrow to watch Dublin Armagh.
Okay.
Not an appointment view to me. The big competitions in my head are it's all about striving to win the big one. And actually, you probably have a fair point that Tyrone needed to go through the pain to be ready for Donegal and Monaghan last year and to win those tight battles.
I will take everything I can get in terms of...
Like Clare won the league there under David Fitzgerald a few years ago. Meant absolutely nothing to me.
But the hurling has its own provincial league, and that's where I find the huge difference is that you almost have to keep your secrets close to your chest in the hurling league. Now we are under time pressure here, but
when you've had also I'd love to see Clare win a Munster title. Clare have won a Munster hurling title since 1998. So when things don't happen for a while, and if you do win a league, and say a team like came out of nowhere, like Roscommon won a league, I think it would matter for Roscommon people. But I think for the very big teams, the Dublins and Kerrys, what would they want? 10 leagues or one All Ireland? One All Ireland, obviously.
Well, I don't think anybody's going to disagree with that. But that is very much not how I view the league. What is going on in the world of sport?
Luis Diaz could be joining Liverpool under the noses of Spurs for €60 million. That's a transfer that could happen. That's kind of breaking in the last couple of hours. 16 goals for Porto this season, 31 appearances for Colombia. On the pitch tonight, Huddersfield against Stoke in the Championship, 7:45. It is Rafa Nadal into the Australian Open final, a sixth time. We all talked about Djokovic winning 21. It could be Rafa on Sunday winning 21. He has only won once in Australia, 2009. He will play Daniel Medvedev or Stefanos Tsitsipas. So Nadal beating Matteo Berrettini in 4 sets at the Rod Laver Arena earlier today. Justin Harding leading on 9 under par on day 2 of the Dubai Desert Classic. Padraig Harrington doing really well, 4 under for the tournament at the end of his second round. Jonathan Caldwell 2 under par. Rory an early birdie under 2 under. Will he make a move today? Shane Lowry is 1 under par. Leon Maguire got work to do to make the cut at the Gamebridge LPGA in Florida. 1 over par, 10 shots behind the leader Lydia Ko. Stephanie Meadow was 3 over. Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano was happening. Saturday, April the 30th, Madison Square Garden. Book your flight, book your tickets. You've got a bit of spare cash. It's going to be incredible. 7 race card at Dundalk as well on today at 4:30.
John, enjoy the weekend.
Enjoy the National League.
Enjoy, Armagh.
It was a good natured debate. Look, we're all friends here.
You're not the only person who thinks that way, for sure.
There's not going to be any headlocks off when the camera goes to an ad break.
You just got to accept it. Like myself and Aisling, the season starts now this weekend.
But I love the passion. You see, this is your passion. So your passion is infectious, and that's brilliant. And my passion will probably be more for the Dubai Desert Classic this weekend and the launch of the Six Nations.
And of course, the Farmers Insurance, if you make a certain amount of money at the weekend. We will all be interested in that.